During the promotion of Black Adam, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would constantly talk about changing the hierarchy of the power of the DC Universe forever. After the October release, it looks like he did. The Passion Project has many Easter eggs, cameos, and elements that explore this wonderful universe in all its glory. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some DC movies set up by Black Adam. First up, that special cameo. Obviously, we have to get the post-credit scene that made all of us lose our minds out of the way first. So who else went absolutely bonkers when Henry Cavill showed up on the screen? Okay, his cameo was already spoiled by Johnson himself because he can't keep his big, muscular, bald mouth shut. But it was still such a thrill seeing Cavill in that suit again. We're sure some superfans shed a tear or two. Now, The Rock actually fought his hardest to get Henry back as Superman, as revealed in multiple interviews. He went to the higher-ups and wasn't going to take no for an answer. And yes, Man of Steel 2 is finally in development. It's been almost a decade since the first Man of Steel. Sure, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice can be considered as a sequel, but you know how fans get. It's not a sequel unless Superman is the only protagonist of the movie. New DC Films co-presidents James Gunn and Peter Safran are currently looking for directors to take over the sequel and are eyeing Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie. He's no Zack Snyder, but boy can McQuarrie make a blockbuster. Man of Steel 2 is confirmed, yes, but since the visionary director is out of the picture, it'll lack the Snyder-esque elements in it. But oh well, we're getting more Superman. Up next, a sequel to Black Adam. The movie sets itself up for a sequel too. In the end, we see Teth Adam emerge as the protector of Kahndaq rather than its ruler. In the comics, Black Adam's lore is massive, and he finds himself as either a villain or anti-hero. The DCEU made it clear that he's the former because A, again, he's the protector of Kahndaq and not its ruler, and B, Adam mentioned how he's not a hero several times throughout the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. Someone should find a PDF file of the script and Control+F the phrase "I'm not a hero." Place your bets for what number you think you'll get. Anyway, Johnson himself confirmed that he'll be reprising the titular character for future projects because, come on, the man's been working on this thing since 2007. Do you really think he'll be done with it just after one movie? Plus, Black Adam is doing all right at the box office. It earned around $350 million from a budget of $200 million. Sure, these aren't the numbers The Rock might have hoped for, but hey, at least it's not a complete flop. Now, for members of the JSA. With their debut on the big screen, the Justice Society of America was faced with the difficult task of facing a relentless Teth Adam. The fact that the team showed up to an oppressed city for their own mission and forced Adam to surrender made it look like the JSA were the antagonist of the film, which is a pretty interesting take. But now, the Dr. Fate spoilers have died. He won't be returning to a possible film of the supergroup. Hawkman was the only member who had actual depth in the film, while Cyclone and Atom Smasher felt like background characters. In the DCEU, Carter Hall is played by Aldous Hodge, and some think that this iteration comes from the Hawk World era of the comics. The character was then retconned as Thanagarian in the Silver Age. The mechanical wings, armor, and weaponry from the film are all hinting at the presence of the Nth Metal, a compound in the comics that holds a lot of power. Wait, you thought his wings were part of his body? Like actual feathers? How would that poor guy go to the bathroom with all that going on his back? With Carter in the universe, Kendra Saunders, or Hawkgirl, should obviously be somewhere in the galaxy too. Perhaps a JSA film would introduce Saunders and give more depth to Cyclone and Smasher. Those two sure had a spark going on. Moving on to the Supernatural Justice League. Dr. Fate being a Black Adam also means that the magical side of DC exists too. Now, we're not talking about Shazam and the wizards granting power to people. We mean something much more sinister. Fate has had many hosts over the years. Kent Nelson donned the helmet, and so did, wait for it, Giovanni Zatara. Oh, don't tell us you don't know how big the name Zatara is in DC. Giovanni volunteered to wield the helmet of Naboo to become the next Dr. Fate. He's also the father of Zatanna Zatara. Now, Zatanna is a very powerful magician who works alongside John Constantine and the rest of the JLD. What's the JLD? Why, they're the Justin League Dark, of course. This supernatural league consists of Zatanna, Constantine, Deadman, Erdogan, Swamp Thing, Enchantress, and more. Some of these characters have already made an appearance in previous DCEU projects, so the possibility of this supernatural team making its way to the universe is very high. Plus, to wish everyone a happy Halloween, James Gunn tweeted a photo of Dead Man 2. The Guardians of the Galaxy director is now in control of the DCEU, so we shouldn't take any of his teases lightly. Coming up, with Adam's arch nemesis. Did you know that The Rock was supposed to put on that gorgeous black suit 3 years ago? Black Adam was initially the antagonist of the 2019 film Shazam, starring Asher Angel and Zachary Levi. But Johnson had other plans and wanted both hero and anti-hero to have their own origin stories in their own movies. And so Tef Adam was replaced by Dr. Savannah. And let's just say the new 52 artwork of the villain looks exactly like Mark Strong. Talk about perfect casting. But after the 2022 release, Shazam is officially part of the DCEU since Djimon Hounsou played the wizard who granted both Billy Batson and Adam their powers. There were a bunch of Easter eggs back in the 2019 film, but no one likes talking about the headless Superman cameo. Some fans thought this would become a running gag in the universe, and we'll be getting another decapitated Kal-El at the end of Black Adam. Just imagine the fans' reactions. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is set to release on the 17th of March 2023, and by the looks of the trailer, we're in for a fun-filled adventure with the wholesome and lovable Shazamily. Maybe one day DC fans will finally see Black Adam and Shazam face off on the big screen. Following up with the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller and Amelia Harcourt, both being members of Task Force X and Argus, had cameos in the movie, which means it's all connected. Someone somewhere is going through a Pepe Sylvia crisis with images and lines connecting pins here and there on a wall. You know, like Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's all connected. Though the Peacemaker actress's cameo was found to be a little flat and underwhelming, it still means that the man with the toilet seat helmet exists in the same universe as Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. Speaking of the original Justice League members, aren't like 3 of them getting their movie soon? Let's talk about Aquaman and The Flash. The Fastest Man Alive and The King of Atlantis are scheduled to have their films released by 2023, while Arthur Curry and his fish friends are all in safe hands with the talented James Wan. The Flash has been going through so many ups and downs, even Eobard Thawne is intimidated. From directors exiting the project to the main lead being a real-life villain, people started to think that this movie will never see the light of day. But it's confirmed that The Flash will finally hit theaters on the 23rd of June 2023. It'll also serve as the soft reboot with both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck reprising their roles as Batman. You'll also be seeing Batfleck in action again in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which will be released on the 25th of December 2023. Well, we know what we're getting our friends for Christmas. Lastly, other movies set to be released. Though these projects are independent of the path Black Adam paved for future films, fans are excited to finally see Blue Beetle make its debut in live action. It was originally going to be a digital release on HBO Max, but after the fate Batgirl suffered, it'll be released in theaters in 2023 instead. Patty Jenkins is working on a Wonder Woman threequel, meaning this will be the first hero to get their own trilogy in the DCEU. That is, if you don't count Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League as Superman's trilogy. Todd Phillips and Matt Reeves are working hard on their masterpieces, namely Joker and the Batman, and fans can't wait. The future of the DC Universe is finally looking bright, and Black Adam played a huge role in doing so. Well, that's the end of the video. Let us know what movies you're excited about in the comments below, and leave a like and hit that subscribe button to see more of our content. We'll see you in the next one.